Come on to Zibby Lounge. Come on to Zibby Lounge. Come on to Zibby Lounge.
Hello? Is anybody out there? I got a story to tell. Somebody's got to hear my story. I need to write. I try to get you off my mind, but I can't get you off of my face. If I could sing, I would echo words about her beauty within a verse. I'm a roach in a world of rage. In shackles and chains. The wax, the melting wax begins its journey down the length of the wig. Transformation. Transformation. Begin. I just had phone sex with no protection, and now I got an ear infection. I'm not hearing you. My poems may drag and rough draft, so I backspace then backdraft. To cool off, I take bubble baths and volcanoes. Nobody sitting down, that's why they call it the stands. Who needs the weed, man, when I got you? If I were on the highest cliff, on the highest rift, and you slipped off the side and clutched onto your life in my grip, I would never, ever let you down.
Hi, I'm Ungazi and you're welcome to the Zibby Show. It's an absolute honor to have you on the show, and I'm so thrilled and I'm so excited, so grateful that you all tune in every week to listen to me. The aim of the show is to motivate and inspire people so we can change the world one person at a time. We're trying to motivate and inspire people, starting from ourselves and our communities, our families, the people around us. And if we can get that chain going, we can actually see there's definitely going to be that positive change, which we all hope for. Last week, we were speaking to Grammy-winning artist and poet, Mr. J. Ivy. And unfortunately, we were out of time. I did get some angry emails from people asking, why the show didn't go all the way to the end of the interview. Like I said at the end of last week's show, we would definitely have a continuation today. And I'm so thrilled that we actually have that now, because we've got so much to talk about with Mr. Ivy, and we want to listen to his amazing works as well. I'm not going to be doing the regular outros I do right before we listen to the music. We're just, after each segment of conversation, we'll have his music coming, we'll have his work coming, and we'll take it from there. So let's get back to the interview with the amazing and very talented Grammy-winning and Emmy-winning artist and poet, Jay Ivy. Tell us about working with Kanye West and Jay Z on Never Let Me Down, on Kanye West, the college dropout. Tell us about that.
At the time, this was after I'd done Def Poetry, and I just moved to New York, and I was here maybe I was in New York about 3-4 months. I was staying out in Best out in Brooklyn, and at the time this was a little bit after Kanye got into the car accident, which happened out in L.A., which is where he was recording after he got his record deal. So one of my running buddies is Cootie, and I don't know if you've heard of Cootie and Chike.
Oh, but, yeah, I think I know Chike, yeah. He's probably Nigerian.
Yeah, he is. His dad is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So Cootie, Cootie's from Chicago too. So when I moved to New York, Cootie was living here. So I'm kicking it with Cootie, kicking it with Kanye. It was like a Chicago crew that had moved to the East Coast. So we're all out here hanging out, kicking it. So when Kanye got in the accident in L.A., he called up Cootie. He was like, yo, I need you out here. Because Cootie was documenting Kanye at the time. He was filming him. And, if you saw, him and Chike did Through the Wire video. So everything in the Wire video was shot by Cootie. Like him and Kanye in the studio, in the on stage getting his Rockefeller chain, or in the mall. He all shot that. So he was like, look, I just got in this accident. He actually called him rapping that night, and I wanted to go out and kick it, but I didn't have $2 to get on the train.
Damn.
I was tight. You know what I mean? It was like, New York rent ain't no joke. Just the whole cost of living is it can be a beast, Okay. And when you're an artist, sometimes them checks, they come and they go. Yeah. It be up and it be down.
Yeah.
You just gotta maintain, keep smiling on your face, keep it moving. So
yeah.
But anyway, so it was a Saturday, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna trip. I can't go anywhere. I need to be productive anyways. So I'm gonna write, And at the time I was writing, I'm not that good with words, the book. Yeah. So I'm writing a book, and I got some candles lit. I got some music playing. I got, I had food in the crib, so I wasn't hungry. So I was like, I'm all right, I'm good. So about 11 o'clock that night, Cootie gives me a call. He was like, he's like, man, Jay, you need to get to LA right now. I'm like, wow, what's up? He was like, man, he's like, Kanye got this song with him and Jay Z on it, and he want to put a poet on it. And I told him he need to put J. Ivy on it. So when I realized he was for real, I was like, all right, well, man, I was like, if you for real, I'm gonna figure it out. So he was in the studio at the time, so he goes in the other room where the music was playing. He was playing the song for me over the phone, so I really couldn't hear the words. So he was telling me what Jay Z was saying in his verse, and he was telling me what Kanye was saying in his verse. Okay. And he was like, get out here, because the song was pretty much already done, Okay. So he was like, man, Jay, he was like, get out here. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna find a way. So I hang up the phone. And my first thought was like, man, Jay, you need to write something right now. So I wrote the date down. I turned to a blank page, wrote the date down. I wrote the title down. And then I wrote one line. And I wrote that first line. My mind went complete. Page back over and read over it because I didn't know what came out. I read over the and I said, man, it's kind of hot. I was like, so I read over it 5 times. I called Cootie back in 10 minutes like, dog, listen to this. So I spit it for him over the phone. When I finished, he was like, oh, man, it's crazy. Oh, he's like, hold on, Jay, hold on. So I'm like, all right. So he goes in the other room and the music's loud. People are loud. So then the music goes down. The people get quiet. He was like, Jay, I'm going to put you on speakerphone. Spit that piece again. I was like, all right. So I spit the joint like I had done it a million times. I was like, if I was on the highest clip, on the highest riff, and, I'm going in, Yeah. So when I finished the piece, the room erupted. Everybody's like, oh, shit, oh. Everybody going crazy. And I'm in Brooklyn, broke, by myself, like, what's up? What's good? What's happening? What's going on over there?
Wow.
So then I hear Kanye, and Kanye was like, man, Jay, spit it again. So I spit it again. Spit it again. I spit it again. Spit it again. I spit it again. I did the joint for like a half hour.
Wow.
And the piece is like a minute long, So then when I finished, Cootie, he finally got back on the phone. He was like, Jay, guess what? I'm like, what? He was like, Kanye flying you out here tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
I was like, man, I'm on my way. So that was Saturday night. So I actually had to wait until Monday because they had to wait for the offices, for the Def Jam offices to open. So Def Jam called me that Monday morning. It was like, look, we got your flight. Wow. You're flying out at such and such time. The car will be at your car be there to pick you up at this time. So they sent the car picked me up. By this time I called my mama, so she sent me a little bit of pocket change, put in my pocket, so I wouldn't be going completely broke with that $2. And so I flew out to LA, and I remember just the whole moment from leaving, from walking out of my door to getting in that car. The whole moment was surreal. I fly out, I'm on the plane, from New York to LA. It's like a 5-6 hour flight. So I'm practicing the poem on the plane. And, originally I had 2 different, the last 2 lines were different. So when I was on the plane, I'm looking out the window, and the last line popped in my head. Whenever I open my heart, my soul, and my mouth, a touch of God rains out. So I added that line when I was on the plane. Okay. And, so I get to LA, and there, there's a guy with my name on the sign, and,
whoa.
He takes my bag, we hop in a limo, and everybody was at this comedy club in Hollywood called the Improv. So the car took me to the Improv. That's what Kanye and everybody was at. So I go to the Improv. One of our buddies named D-Ray, he was the MC. He was the host. Okay. So he's from Chicago too. He's the one who did all the Bernie Mac voices on the College Dropout. So, real funny dude. He's an actor. He's been in a bunch of movies. Okay. So I get to, get there, and I was like, D-Ray, I'm like, you got any room on the mic? He like, yeah. So he put me on the mic. I performed, I did some poetry at the comedy spot, did my thing. So then, we chilled for a minute, and then we headed to the studio, and, we were there about 10 minutes in the studio, and Kanye was like, yo, you ready? I was like, yeah, man, that's what I'm here for. So I walk in, I get in the booth, and I put the headphones on. And then, the track plays, and this is my first time, like, really hearing the music, because over the phone, I couldn't really, make it out. And, so the music comes on, and then I hear, Jay Z say, oh, baby, and this is like this is when Jay Z's retiring. You
yeah,
know, so
allegedly.
yeah. This is the retiring Jay Z, you know, and I'm hearing his verse for the first time, and I'm just amazed. I'm like, here's this legend on this song, and then I'm hearing Kanye, and at this point, we all knew, you know, what Kanye was capable of doing. We all knew that he was going to be a mega star. Like, you can just feel it when you was around him. Every song he played, it moved your spirit. You know, we just knew he was a star. So I'm hearing him, you know, on the song, you know, and I'm amazed by the verse. I'm like, oh, this verse cold. Like, he did it again, you know, like there's another cold verse, you know. And then I hear the hook, and then there's just this space, you know, for me.
Get up, I get down, get up, I get down, get up, I get up, I get. We all here for a reason on a particular path. You don't need a curriculum to know that you're a part of the math. Cats think I'm delirious, but I'm so damn serious. That's why I expose my soul to the world, the globe. I'm trying to make it better for these little boys and girls. I'm not just another individual. My spirit is a part of this, that's why I get spiritual. But I get my hymns from him, so it's not me, it's he that's lyrical. I'm not a miracle, I'm a heaven-sent instrument. My rhythmic regiment navigates melodic notes to your soul and your mental. That's why I'm instrumental. Vibrations is what I'm into. Yeah, I need my loot by rent day, but that ain't what gives me the heart of Kunta Kinte. I'm trying to give us free like Sinke. I can't stop. That's why I'm hot. Determination, dedication, motivation. I'm talking to you, my many inspirations, why I say I can't let you or self down. If I were on the highest cliff, on the highest rift, and you slipped off the side and clipped onto your life in my grip, I would never, ever let you down. And when these words are found, let it be known that God's penmanship has been signed with a language called love. That's why my breath is felt by the deaf, and why my words are heard and confined to the ears of the blind. I too dream in color and in rhyme, so I guess I'm one of a kind in a full house. Cause whenever I open my heart, my soul, or my mouth, a touch of God rains out. Get up, I get.
It was just like the most amazing feeling. I don't know if I can even really put in the words how I felt, but I knew this was going to be heard by the world, you know. Yeah. So I went in. I was on 10,000, you know, as we say in the streets. You know, I was on 10, and I just went in and I performed that piece. I was screaming and hollering. I was just letting it go, you know. And then when I finished, Kanye, he was like, man, Jay, he was like, do it one more time. He was like, bring it down just a little bit, but just do it. So I brought it down to like 9,999. Yeah. I brought it down just a twist, you know, and I performed it again, and then after that, I was feeling warmed up, and I was ready to go again. I was like, all right, now I'm really ready to do it. And Kanye was like, that's it.
Wow.
I was like, I can do better than that. He was like, nah, dog, that's it. So I went in. He was like, come on in. So I go in. We listening to it, and it was like just hearing the song. And originally the song ended with my verse, you know. So just hearing the song, it was like everybody would just get chills, you know, when they would hear it, you know. So it was just, I mean, it was like working with one. It was easy working with him. You know, he works fast. He knows what he wants. He can hear it, you know, before it happens, you know, and he trusts the moment. I think that was one of the biggest lessons was the fact that he trusted the moment. Cause, you know, I was ready to, you know, do it again. Like I came back an hour later, like, man, dog, I can do it better than that. He was like, no, dog, that's it. He was like, yo, that was the one. He was like, trust me, Jay, that was the one. I'm like, all right. So the second take is the one that the world ended up hearing. But like I said, it was easy working with him. You know, it was fun. It was and you know, it just felt like that family feeling, like, you know, fam coming together to create something magical for the world, and pray that it's received that way. And thank God it was.
It definitely was. Definitely was.
Definitely a moment I will never forget, you know.
Wow. So basically, you wrote that verse in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, shorter than that. Yeah.
Wow.
'Cause I wrote it, like I hung up the phone. Like I said, my mind went blank for them few seconds. I prayed. I said, God, please give me one. And I wrote that poem as long as the poem is, you know, it probably, you know, probably took me just a little bit longer to keep, you know, for my hand to keep up with the words that were coming out. But yeah, I wrote it, read over it, you know, a few times to, you know, make sure I had it. And then I called back, you know.
Wow.
So yeah, it's cause I think I read over like 4 or 5 times. So that was about, you know, that's 5 minutes. So yeah, it was about 5 minutes I wrote that.
Wow.
maybe, yeah, like 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So it took you 5 minutes to basically write the verse that told the world about you, about your kind of poetry. That is amazing.
Well, definitely one of the fastest pieces I've ever written. Cause I mean, when it hit me, you know, when I'm able to just really just channel what's coming through, it just flows out, you know. The only time it takes me a long time to write is when I start thinking. But when I just go off instinct and just when I get out of the way, it just flows out, you know.
Okay. I mean, you're on a record with, you know, right now, probably two of the greatest rappers. And my opinion is that moment was all about you. Because, yeah, Kanye, you know, College Dropout was an amazing album. But when it comes to Never Let Me Down, everyone talks about you. So I feel like that was your moment. That's why I really think you did outshine the others. In a good way, you know, because it's a lovely song. But I think that was like that breakout for you. It was all about you at that time. And I'm so glad.
No, I really appreciate that. When I say, I mean, even calling it a blessing is doing it in injustice because it changed. I won't say maybe not changed. It added to what was happening in my life. Yeah. But it opened up so many doors, and you know, it taught me a lot. You know, as far as the responsibility factor, because, you know, people, you know, I've always had a sense of that responsibility, but it really showed me, you know, the power that the word can have. And, you know, I'm like, well, if I can affect people in this positive light, you know, you know, this impactfully, I definitely want to continue to do that. Yeah. You know, people have come up to me and, you know, told me, you know, it got them through, through school or through a breakup, you know, the song got them through, just all kind of different situations. That some it helped them finish school, some it, you know, when they maybe they didn't make it through and it got them through that moment. Some people told me that, you know, it got them through depression. Yeah. Folk had told me they were thinking about committing suicide and that song lifted them up and they didn't do it. You know, so it's like when you hear that people are still here because of something that you said and wrote, I mean, it's like, it takes things to another level. It's like, all right, it's serious. I still want to have fun. You know me. I still want it to be fun. I still want to be instinctive with it. But, you know, I know that it comes with, you know, that responsibility, you know. Like people send me pictures with the verse tattooed to their arms. And, wow. And a quote from it tattooed to their chest. And, you know what I mean? It's just amazing, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so at that moment when you realized you were a Grammy winner, what was the first thing you thought, and who was the first person you called?
Oh, my mama, you know. You know, she just put in so much, you know, so much into it. But it was amazing. At the time, she was my girlfriend. She's my wife now, but we were together when it happened. She was on the album too. Her name's Tari Teray. So she was singing on Family Business and Never Let Me Down. And
right. She sounds amazing. If that was her, Never Let Me Down.
Yeah. And she sang on, you know, John Legend. You heard, you remember Live It Up on John Legend's album? Live It Up, we can go crazy.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, it's the last song on his first album. So she co-wrote that and singing on there. Wow. So we were there. So we were just excited about the moment. And of course, gotta call the mamas, you know. So I called my mom and it was just I don't know, not
It's hard to express.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not validation, but it was just a reminder that okay, you're going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was more so that, like, okay, you're doing the right thing. Oh, okay, you're part of something very big. You know, it was just it was a huge moment. It was definitely a huge moment.
Okay.
And it felt good. You know what I mean? It was exciting. You know. We definitely celebrated. We kicked it hard that night.
Yeah.
You know?
I can imagine. Okay. You probably know Andre from Outkast. Andre 3000.
I've never met him, but he is by far one of my favorite MCs ever.
Seriously, there's something that about you. You know, I think there's a similarity, and I really wish you guys could work together because I just love both of you.
I would love to do that. That would be dope. That would be dope. And that's something I always want to, you know, just match my art with other artists. You know, I feel like, you know, the combination with certain folk would be incredible. And he's definitely on that list. Like,
oh, wow.
Like, I love the song with Andre.
Oh, I would really love that. And I'd be, you know, fingers crossed, hoping that comes really soon. I don't know, there's just something.
Yeah.
You've got a motto or a slogan you say a lot: dreams don't come true, they are true. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, well, actually, that hit me when we were in the studio during it was a couple days after I recorded "Never Let Me Down," and my grandmother, you know, God bless her, she's not here anymore. She passed. Oh, golly, it's been 20 years. Woo. Yeah, so she passed in 94. She's still with me, though. That's my girl. Like, I know she one of my angels, you know. Okay. And ever so often, like, I feel like I get a message from her, you know. So it was on her birthday, which is December 14th. And that quote just popped in my head. You know, I was thinking about her. I was thinking about the moment. You know, it was just so surreal. The moment was it felt like I was in a movie, you know, and that's when it hit me. It was like, dreams don't come true, they are true. And for me, it just, the meaning behind that is, you know, folk often will say, you know, I'm trying to make my dreams come true, but I feel like the dream started, you know, when you touch down. Okay. You know, the dream started before you touched down. You know, I'm maybe it's just me, but I feel like we choose our parents. You know, so I feel like the dream started long ago. Okay. I feel like every experience, you know, leads up to the success that you have in life. You know, I think, you know, one, I do think success is happiness too, but the things that you accomplish in life, they don't happen in that moment. They began a long time ago. You know, your personality, your character, the things that you went through, being prepared, working hard. It's all part of the dream. It all is the dream. You know, so when that quote hit me, it you know, I instantly, you know, I'm in the moment, but I'm thinking about, you know, those times when I was in college and folks was knocking me and telling me not to do what I was doing, and it was soft, and it was this and it was that, and I was like, man, if I would have listened to them, I wouldn't be here right now. Exactly. If I would have, you know, if I would have listened to that negativity, if I would have listened to the haters, I wouldn't be here right now on this record and having this moment, or on that stage, So that was a part of the dream, you know. All the positivity that I got was a part of the dream. My English teacher, Miss Argue, making me do that show was a part of the dream. Yeah. You know, 'cause it would have none of it would have ever happened if I didn't have these moments. You know what I mean? My mama encouraging me, and, you know, and my mama moving us to the suburbs, and so I would have, you know, if my brother didn't get in trouble, if the city wasn't crazy, we wouldn't have moved to the burbs. I wouldn't have went to this high school where I met this teacher, and, you know what I mean? None of it would have happened. So it's all a part of the dream. You know, it's all a part of it.
That is amazing.
So dreams don't come true, they are true. You know.
Well, I totally get that now. It's all like a part of the divine plan. Basically, everything was meant to happen.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's really inspirational.
Yeah. That's right. You know what my guy said? He said, yo, J.I., you know what you gotta do in life? I said, what's that? He said, all you gotta do in life is stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, never mind the rain, never mind the pain. There's gonna be speed bumps, so you either gotta jump or pump the brakes. Life will dish out heartaches and heartbreaks. So it's all about how much of it that you can take. Don't wait, move. In life you gotta pay dues. So don't trip on the toes. If you got goals, read the signs, dodge the potholes. Pit but don't stop, shift to the top. Pace yourself, don't race yourself. Check your review, be aware what's near you. Stay fresh, don't stress. Road rage leads to old age. So watch out for the roadkill and oil spills. On dark nights, don't get dead in your headlights. Head right, don't get left. Express your way, your inner state of mind. Keep your own mind, don't let the GPS replace your gut. Protect yours, get insured, keep it in the trunk. Get high octane, but don't hit that skunk. Keep your ride detailed, don't sit in funk. Before you lease the Z, make sure you get from A to B. See, your vocals ain't local, they're global. So get off your feet, hit the street, stretch it out. If it's traffic, you can either be patient or you can reroute. Whatever your decision is, do it without doubt. Don't rush your hour, don't do it for cloud. Do it cause you love it. Don't be slow to merge when you hit that curve, hug it. Never ride the clutch. You gotta know when to ride Dutch and find your spot. Don't forget there is a blind spot. Drop your top, let the sun hit your face. Stay tuned up, tuned in, it's a long race. So if you gon' do it for a while, smile while you endure the miles. Roll down the window, let the wind blow, feel the breeze, the fresh air. Make sure you keep a spare, don't lose your keys. Pump the volume, blow the horn, make some noise, that's the reason you were born. So grab the wheel, do what you feel and you will always be felt. Yeah, the cops be tripping, so don't forget your seatbelt. Just do you, show the world why you came. And always remember, just stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane. Keep your lean gangster and stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane. Yeah.
Okay, I've got some questions from some people.
Yes.
Hi, JIV. My name is Ibiene. I'm calling from Port Harcourt, Nigeria. I listened to Dear Father again for like the third time yesterday, and I really loved the poem. It is so poignant and so powerful. I like to consider myself a poet as well. I have a collection of poems called Yard Sale, which I published early last year, and I guess my question to you as a poet is, do you find that you write your best pieces when you're high in emotion, when you're happy, or when you're low and when you're sad? Because I find that my best pieces are written when I'm sad, and often my best poems are the sad ones. Do you find that it's the same with you? Thank you.
All right.
Wow. That's interesting. One of our cousins, it's funny because he was talking about Jill Scott, and he was like, "Man, I like Jill Scott when Jill Scott is sad. That's what she do. That's music." Which shout out to Ira B. But I think, I don't know. Like I feel like I have some of my best work that I've written has been at both ends of the spectrum. Some have been at my highest points, some have been at my lowest points. You know what I mean? But and I think that's part of. I think what writing does is writing allows you to find the balance. Okay. And that's why I tell people, never get too high, never get too low. But when the emotions do get too high, too low, I feel like the poetry is the gravity that centers and balances you out. So I guess yes, I do, write some of my best work when I'm down, when I'm depressed, because I'm trying to write myself up from it. And when I'm high on emotion and feeling good, I write some of my best work at that point too, because it's just a reflection of those good feelings that I want to share with other people. So yeah.
Okay.
I hope I answered her question.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Okay. We've got another one.
Hi, I'm Christina. I'm from Ceres, Greece, and I got a question for JIV. So I just want to ask if it was hard for you to share such a personal poem like Dear Father, and what's the feeling you get each time you perform it on stage? Thank you.
Well, I think we talked about it a little bit. But
yeah, we did.
Yeah, like it's but to answer directly, it was hard at first, but at the same time, at that point, I had been performing for years, so I think while it was hard for me to do it, just my love and my knowledge of what expressing myself would do, I think that's what pushed me to do it. So I didn't really think twice about doing it. But then after I got it out, I think after I got it out is when it was harder to do, because like I said earlier, I didn't want to continue to revisit it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until somebody, my friend was like, that it helped other people, the same way it helped you. So, now, but like I said earlier, now when I perform it, I remember, but I try to, detach myself from, just sinking into that moment, cause what I really feel, is, my father's with me. I know that my father was a good man, and I've always felt that poem actually made us closer. I feel like it brought us together, and I feel like we're more together, now than we were when he was here physically. Like I told you, I just recently got a book deal, and the book is about my dad. It's based on a poem, Dear Father. And my dad, he passed in November of 99. So I was going back and forth with the publisher, about, potentially, teaming up with them.
Okay.
And then I had a call, with the owner, with the publisher of the company, because before that I was just speaking with the acquisitions editor, and so I get this call. We had this call on November 15th of this past year, and the owner, he offered me the book deal, and he expressed how he loved what I wrote, about my dad, and he told me stories about his dad. And, it was this amazing moment. So, it was just all these good things were happening around this time. So I called my auntie, who was my dad's older sister. Okay. I said, man, auntie, I really feel like, my dad is up there working right now. There's been all this good stuff happening to, to my life. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to remember what day he passed on. I was like, I know it was in November. I was like, do you remember what day he passed? Or she's like, I don't remember off top. She's like, let me look it up. So she went to go look it up. Okay. And he passed on November 15th, the day that I got offered a book deal.
Wow.
On a book about him. So when things like that happen, it's just evident that that one, he's with me. I feel like we have angels and spirits that look after us, and I know my dad is definitely one, and I definitely feel that the poem "Dear Father" was what allowed me to break through that blockade that may have divided us,
Yeah. Did he get a chance to listen to it before he passed?
No, I wrote that years after he passed away.
Oh.
Yeah. So and that's why even like people, they hear the what I did on Deaf Poetry, but the poem is much longer actually.
Oh.
And there it starts out. It says I wish you could have seen me do my thing. I wish you could have been there the first time I sang. I wish you could have seen how your baby boy flow. I wish you could have seen me rock just one show. I wish you could have seen me do my thing. I wish you could have been there the first time I sang. I wish that you didn't have to go. I wish you could have seen me rock just one show. And then it goes into the piece, dear Dad, these words are being written and spoken.
Oh.
So that so he never got a chance to, and that was a part of it. Like when the hook was really, what I guess was what I was really trying to say was like, man, I wish you could have just sing. I wish you could have, had that moment to be proud and say, that's my son, So for me, it was like that poem was like me screaming out to heaven, like, man, like, if you didn't see me, you go see me now,
all the way.
I'm gonna make sure you see me. I'm gonna make sure that, that the world knows, who you are and who you were and that you're still here and you're still working. And if it's through me, so be it. You know what I mean? But 'cause I know my dad, he was a good dude. He's a cool dude. And he just went through things like we all do, and he didn't know how to deal with his pain.
Wow.
Dear Dad, these words are being written and spoken because my heart and soul feel broken. I laugh to keep from crying, but I still haven't healed after all of my years of my goofiness and joking. You got me open, hoping this ill feeling will pass, won't last. I wear a mask, and my peace won't ask for the truth. Truthfully speaking, the truth hurts, but I'm beyond hurting. I'm in pain. When I was a shorty, I thought you left because I wouldn't behave. Later on in life, I found out that it was the cane as well as other things. And with all the scars, it was hard, but I learned to forgive and forgave. I forgave you despite the fights, the tears for all the years lost, wondering if I was loved. Sometimes all I needed was a call and a hug. I mean, I understand that people break up and don't make up, and some relationships don't last forever, but why weren't we together? Mom could have found a new man, but why was I going to find a new dad? Looking back, I wish you would have begged me, but pleaded my case, because I felt like I didn't matter, like I was deleted and erased. I would cry, still cry so much that I get headaches. I try to get you off my mind, but I can't get you off of my face. I see you every time I see me, and I can't do nothing but ask God to bless me, because my love was amputated, my life was complicated, my family became dysfunctional. Dad, I remember when you pushed Mom, she broke her ankle, and I was sitting there thinking, how could you do this to such a beautiful angel? I remember Mom waking us up in the middle of the night saying, shh, Jimmy, put some clothes in the jewels bag. We're going to Grandma's, and if your father come up to your school, don't tell him where we'd be. I remember spending Christmas at Grandma's playing with my Stretch Armstrong, thinking, man, this ain't my house. How does Santa Claus find me? But the little boy in me still wants his daddy badly. I feel like a scared little boy afraid to become a man, but I think I'm ready. I wonder if you know that your baby boy didn't show that aired for millions to see on HBO, and that hard-ass New York crowd that I didn't even know actually gave me a standing no. I wonder if you know. I know you're proud, because I'm be the best, just like you want to be. Watch and see, and just in case you can't, I'm screaming so loud that I shake the clouds and move them out the way of my sunshine, because that's what you are, Dad. James Ivy Richardson, see it, do you hear me? You are my sunshine. That's why I forgave you, because my love for you is still the same. It may have gone through a transformation, but it never really changed. So I swear on my mama and on my name, I'm going to stop this rain, conquer this pain, make sure that you do not die in vain. And when I get to heaven, I'm going to jump in your arms. We going to kick back like when I was little and watch the Bears game.
You know, a lot of people seem to connect with their father so much. I think it's probably because a lot of people have those battles, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that's a reason why everyone can identify and, you know, they sort of feel themselves in your shoes at that moment.
Yeah, what I'm doing recently, I started what's called the Dear Father Initiative.
Okay.
So what I would like to ask is everybody who's listening, people may come across this. What our goal is I feel like the same way that this letter that my dad helped me, I feel like it'll help everyone. So we're encouraging everyone to write a letter to their dad, whether the relationship is good, bad, whether it's a poem or just a note, whatever it is. The goal is 1 million letters, 1 million hearts healed.
Wow.
So we're going to be starting a website, but for now we're asking people to email their poems to Dear Father Initiative at gmail.com.
All right.
And again, it's Dear Father Initiative at gmail.com.
Alrighty. Okay.
And then we're gonna post everyone's letter, poem on the site. And that's the thing. Like, I know everyone's story isn't I know they're not all bad stories. Yeah. And, like the fathers need to know. I know we lift the mothers up a lot, and the mothers need to be lifted up even more. But I feel like we don't lift the dads up enough. And everybody needs love. Everybody needs it. And it's just something about writing it down. To say it is one thing, but it's just something special, and powerful about writing it down.
Yeah.
So that's what we're calling on people to do is write the letter, and we want to hear the good stories. People need the good stories and inspire the dads who might not be in their sons' lives, or it might encourage and inspire them to call their sons, and for the sons to call their dads, because sometimes sometimes the children have to be the leaders. Sometimes we have to initiate it and say, look, all right, this is how I feel. Something, men are macho. They don't want to say I love you, but sometimes we got to be the ones like, look, I love you. I know you love me too. Whether you say it, whatever,
Yeah.
So yeah, but man, God bless your dad. I'm sure he's an amazing man, and
he is.
Hopefully one day I'll get a chance to meet him. We
that
kick
would
it
be
over.
amazing.
I gotta get. I've never been that way, so I'm looking to get there.
That would be awesome. Let's
go put it out there. 2014 summer. Let's go.
Yippee.
JIV comes out. Let's do it. We put it out there.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Hi, my name is I'm 20. I was born and raised in Nigeria, and I currently live in the UK. First, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you and express how amazing I think your works are. They've inspired me, motivated me, even led to life-changing experiences over the years. I remember when I was at uni in 2006, I was going through a lot of difficulty. As a minority, I faced racism, harsh criticisms. I remember listening to your track with Kanye West, and Never Let Me Down. And it was something that eventually got me ongoing, back on my feet. I performed the track on Black History Month. I mean, before then, I thought the words were so powerful, and they gave me the courage to stand up and perform in front of an audience for the first time, of which I would never have dreamt to. I just want to thank you for being that inspiration. I've got two questions for you. The first question is, to what extent do you think criticisms from the media and maybe people around have imprinted your work? Does it motivate you, or does it inspire your creativity? And the second question is, what is your perception on race, culture, and class identity in society nowadays? Thank you.
First off, thank you. That means the world to me to hear comments like that. That means the world to me. Yeah, as far as the criticism, I don't know. Like I just feel like one of the blessed ones where I receive more positivity than I do negativity. You know, I receive more pats on the back than I do, you know, what the hell is that? You know,
Okay.
I just receive a lot of encouragement, but the criticism that I do receive, it definitely, you know, adds fuel to the fire. You know, it definitely, you know, encourages me to be better, because I have been in that, you know, in those positions, you know, like I said early on, where, you know, people were knocking me for what it is that I was doing, or how I was deciding to express myself. Mm-hmm. But, you know, and every time it just, you know, it fired me up. It fired me up, made me want to write something even better. Mm-hmm. and it made me want to, you know, grab 1,000 more microphones, and it made me want to touch the world that much better, because I knew what I was doing. I knew the intention of what I was doing was to help people, and it was to lift people up. You know, so I knew I wasn't, you know, what I was doing wasn't based in negativity, you know. But as far as the negativity, it fires me up, and I just want to, you know, become even better.
Okay.
You know. And,
yeah.
You know, but as far as her second question, as far as, you know,
race, culture. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a black man living in America, you know, and so I deal with challenges every day. You know, I'm part of the reason why Never Let Me Down was such an impactful point, or Def Poetry, or any of it, or any things I've been able to do, is because, you know, opportunity, it can be limited, you know, and it's like you have to fight for it, you know. Like, you know, growing up, I would always hear, like, man, you black in America, you have to be 2, 3, 4 times as better. Mm-hmm. You know, you have to fight, scrape, claw to get, you know, where you want to go. Like, I'm not sitting on, you know, pounds of money. You know, if I was of a different culture, I just may be. Yeah. I just may be a king, you know, with a castle and a moat, you know. But, you know, that's not the case, and I'm fine with that. You know, I know what I was put here for, and I'm still learning too what I was put here for. But yeah, I deal with, you know, with challenges, but it doesn't discourage me. You know, the same way that the criticisms fire me up is the same way that those challenges fire me up. You know, because I know that there's some little young Black American boys. I know there's some young African boys, some young Black European boys. Yeah. I know that there's, you know, people of color all over this world that, you know, they may come across my work, and it'll give them something to, you know, something to aspire to be, something positive to look to do in their life, and that means more to me than anything, because I know I'm not ignorant to the fact that we're not here forever. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's like, well, I'm only here. So if I'm only here for, you know, a blink of an eye, a spell of a time, I'm going to make the most of it. And I'm going to make it my duty to encourage those that are coming after me, and even those that have come before me, you know, and those that are standing with me, you know, because I feel like we're supposed to help each other and be each other's reflection, and remind each other who we are, you know. Mm-hmm. So you know, I deal with the challenges. My main goal is to try to connect to people's spirits, you know.
Actually, I was having a conversation with a friend about 3 hours ago, and she was sort of talking about haters. And I said, you know what? It's actually good to have haters, because, you know, they sort of motivate you to do better and shine. So it's okay if people don't like you. Just, you know, take it like, okay, you know what? Whatever I'm doing, it's in your face. Haha, you know.
Right. Yeah, a long time ago, one of my guys, he was like, Jay, if you don't got haters, you're doing something wrong. I was like, that's the realest thing I ever heard.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
like it's definitely, if people ain't hating on what you do, because hate is jealousy, is envy, is fear. You either operate in love or fear.
Yeah.
So if people are hating on you, they fear what you are, they fear your light, and they probably fear it because they don't understand it, or because they haven't had the courage to find their own strength and their own light. So since they haven't found their light, they want to try and dim yours, and I'm not letting anybody dim my light.
Exactly.
I've done it in the past, and I never do it again.
I really like that. I really like that.
I pledge allegiance to God and the goodness of my home, USA. I pledge allegiance to me, J.I. there. From my mother to my lover, my boys to my brothers. I promise to be the best. I promise to be the best. I promise to be the best. Yes, life is a balancing act. There's ups and downs, good and bad. You sitting back thinking, how am I gonna balance all that? If you tip the scale, that could lead to a trip to hell. And me, well, it was meant for me to do well. Can't you tell? When I open my mouth, my soul yells. I promise to be the best. Yes, it's so easy. Why live greasy and go against the grain? There's no limit to what I can attain. I've been one of the special ones since I was just James. Little Jimmy, I've always been a little skinny, heavy and hard. I've been steady with the art. I envision growth. I use precision with my quotes. Yes, I fight for hope. Of course, I cast my vote. Cause so many fought and died for me. So how ignorant would it be if I didn't do me to the fullest and be the best that I can be? So you see, I promise to be the best. I promise to be the best. I promise to be the best. Yes, you gotta march to the beat of the band. Give me a hand as I march on. I was born in March, I'm not a saint, but I'm marching in with the passion that starts within. As long as my heart beats within my chest, I promise to be the best. Yes, I'm blessed, even when my life was a mess. But I remember my mama looked me in my eyes and told me not to settle for less. You can't settle for stress. I'm the best, far from average. It was meant for me to fly high, so I let go of the baggage filled with bad habits. So when the blessings come my way, my hands will be free and able to grab it. I promise I'ma overcome, even when the problems weigh a ton. I promise I'ma get it done, even when the job ain't that fun. I promise, cause I know I'm blessed. I promise to pass the test. I promise to never rest. I promise to be the best, be the best. I promise to be the best. I promise to be the best. I promise to be the best. Yes, I'ma make you proud. Those here on the ground and those up there in the clouds, screaming out loud, let your tears rain. Cheer the same, I salute you. I'ma do what suits you, I'ma be the best for you. This isn't a ploy to win the media over. I just find joy in the fact that I'm not mediocre. It's not a part of my demeanor. The path is a beast, but I swear I'm meaner. You might be a bootleg, but I'm a screener. No, I'm not a block hustler, I'm a blockbuster. It's J.I. Max. I've been sent here to save you with these words, the same way our soldiers were sent to save Iraq. Come back. Come back. I promise not to break my promise. You see, I'm gonna be the best, cause it was meant for me to be the best of the best. J. Ivy. Yes. Isn't it obvious? Isn't it? Yes. March on.
Speaking about poets, there have been some, sort of controversial poets like Mr. Baraka. I hope I pronounced it right. And then coming to your song, 2012, you know, the image of, you know, the guy holding the gun behind you, that scared me quite a bit. Okay. And it opens, freedom of speech has been extinct. The poets have been silenced. I and other rebels risk our lives to maintain our culture. Is this a reference to, you know, criticism that, you know, slightly controversial poets like maybe Hilal or Mr. Baraka have faced? Is that, you know?
Yeah, well, when I originally wrote that song, and then, you know, I asked Twan Gabbs and Mickey Halstead to come and be a part of it. This was like 2009, 2010. So, you know, it was leading up to 2012 where everyone, you know, had, you know, skepticism about the world still being here or, you know, different things changing. So it was kind of that look at how the future would be. You know, if catastrophe struck, this was, you know, how living would be, after the aftermath, you know, the freedom of speech will be taken from us, and, you know, all these different things.
Okay.
And so that was just kind of our twist on how the future could look if we don't continue to fight to speak up. You know, they already try and censor us and try and take our voices away, and I think that was the message in that was to not allow them to silence our voices. You know, I actually had this line, and it would have been perfect for it, but it says, "Silence is my violence. It hurts to bite my tongue."
Oh.
You know, and that's really what that is. It's like it hurts to not speak. It hurts to not express myself. It hurts to not be me. You know.
You've got really good words. Like, do you write regular music for artists?
Yeah, sometimes here and there, yeah, I do. I love writing, whether it's, you know, poetry or songwriting or stories, or I just love writing. So sometimes, yeah, I'll collab with different artists and write songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's really great. Are you currently involved with, you know, charities, like any organization?
Yeah, I work with different organizations like the Boys and Girls Club, do stuff with the YMCA here and there.
Okay.
I have my own workshop called The Right to Live Poetry Academy, which we're still building up, but over the years done a lot of work with the youth, teaching poetry workshops.
Okay.
And actually gearing up next year, like it's still in the works, but we're gearing up to take a group of kids from Chicago to Kenya, actually.
Oh, wow.
And to group them with a group of students in Kenya, and we're gonna climb Mount Kilimanjaro together and do our poetry.
That's great. Really great.
Yeah, so always, you know, like the kids is, you know, that's you know, like Whitney said it best. I believe the children are the future.
Yeah.
Teach them well, let them lead the way.
I would sing, but I probably sound weird.
So yeah, but you know, the children they're, you know, they are the future, and it's important that we continue to lift them up and encourage them, because so many of them that are lost or feeling unloved. Yeah. And whenever I step into a classroom or in front of a group of kids, and you know, they're yearning to be taught. They want to be taught. They want to soak all the information up, and they love it. It's like they love it. So it's like, you know, it's just important that we continue to do that for them, because I know people did it for me, you know, and I learned things from folks when I was young that I would never forget, you know.
Mm-hmm. I think, you know, that's a really nice concept, because I think if children are occupied, and teenagers especially, you know, they've got things to do, productive things, of course, it sort of limits the chance they have to get exposed to, you know, these elements that are not so desirable. You've got a first book, Here I Am Now and Then. I tried to check online, but I couldn't exactly find a way to purchase it. Is it on Kindle?
Yes, it's on Kindle. It's everywhere. Amazon. People can get on get on my website right now. I don't know when the interview will come out, but my website is being revamped.
Okay.
At the moment, but it's available on my website, which is j-ivy.com. Just the letter J hyphen ivy.com, and it's available there.
Okay.
If you catch me on 125th Street in Harlem on Wednesdays at 2:30, no, I'm just playing.
Yeah, because some of us are like all over the world.
Yeah, got them books.
Well, that's fine, knowing it's on Kindle, because, for people in Africa, it's a bit difficult for Amazon to deliver things directly. But knowing it's on Kindle, that's easier, so people can actually purchase from there for the Kindle app. So.
Oh, yes, please get it. The album, Here I Am, is the soundtrack for the book, and the book is the conversation for the album. So
Okay.
make sure you get Here I Am. Is available on iTunes. It's also on my website as well. But make sure you get both. Here I Am, Then and Now, the book, and Here I Am is the album.
And we'll still definitely look out for Dear Father, January 2015.
Yeah. And then I got a lot of music that I'm gonna be putting out this year. I have a series of mixtapes that I'll be putting out, and it's called Digging in the Papes. And Digging in the Papes is a collection of features I've done with people over the years, music that you may or may not have heard.
All right.
So it's just a collection of some of my past work. So I'll be putting those out. I think starting in I was going to shoot for March, but I think April. So and then later this year I'm putting out an album called Life After Life. And this is like my follow-up album to Here I Am, and I'm extremely excited about that as well. It's done, and it feels so good, So I want to make sure y'all look out for that.
Okay, we'll definitely look out for that. I've got two last questions.
Yes.
I know you love Michael Jackson, and I feel like we're family because I absolutely love him as well.
Yes, we are.
I mean, he's taught me so much, and he's such an inspirational person. So when I realized, you felt the same way, I'm like, oh, my kind of person.
Yeah, I love Mike. Love Mr. Jackson.
Okay. And just wondering, your look changed quite a lot because, we were used to seeing you with the really long dreadlocks.
Yes.
Why'd you get rid of it?
It was just time. I had my locks 11 years.
Wow.
And maybe like the last 5 years, I wanted to cut my hair. Every year I said, I'm going to cut my hair. I'm going to do it. And then I looked up and 10 years had gone by. And part of the reason that I didn't cut it, when I wanted to cut it was because I felt everybody knew me that way, and it would, people, they associate you with a look, and if you change it can just shift things, or it can be like starting over, but I remember walking past this I was in Manhattan, and I walked past a store, and I saw my reflection in the window, and I stopped in my tracks, and I just stared there for a few moments. And I was like, that's not me anymore. I was like, I'm cutting my hair. As soon as I get home, I'm cutting it. So when I went back to Chicago like the next week, and I was like, any day now, any day. And then I remember seeing, Barack gave a speech, at the time, Senator Obama. Gave a speech at the Democratic Convention. It was the speech he gave, in Denver. And it was I believe it was the 40th anniversary of the I Have a Dream speech.
Okay.
And I think it was the 40th. I may be wrong on that, but anyway, the speech was so moving. It was so incredible. I was so moved, and I said, I'm doing it in the morning. And I got up. I went for a run. I ran in the woods. I was running in the woods. A leaf fell in my hand, and I was like, well, I guess every tree has to cut its leaves in order to grow new ones, So I was running. I worked out, and then I called my barber. I said, yo, you got room for me? He said, what? He said, you cut your hair? I said, man, I'm about to. If you got room for me. He said, man, come on. So I went to the bath. As soon as I hung up, I went to the bathroom. I cut it. And I went to the barber shop, and I was like, man, I ain't had a fade in a decade. And I got that cut. And cause I love fitted caps, and I love going to the barber shop. I just love that whole experience. You know what I mean? I love, I feel like I'm and I want to act too. I do act, so I feel like I'm more versatile.
Yeah.
I can, with locks, I'm only, if it's not based. Right. Yeah, I'm in a box, and I didn't want to be in a box anymore.
Exactly. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate you being on the show.
Man, it was really a delight talking to you. All right, thank you, sis. Peace.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning in to this special 2-part episode with Grammy-winning and Emmy-winning artist and poet Mr. J.I.V. I must apologize. We did go slightly over our time limits, but there was just so much to talk about. J.I.V. is such an inspiration. He's such an amazing person, and all I can say is, wow. Our special thanks go out to J.I.V. and the entire IVS management team for setting this up. They were amazing and they were professional. And thank you all for keeping up with us and taking part in this amazing episode. I'll wrap up today's episode with a word from Mr. Ivy, and he says, I sleep with my pen in my hand so I can write my dreams. Have a lovely week. Take care of yourselves and each other. God bless you, and aloha.
Come on to Zibby.